Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-discovery. This podcast is designed for women navigating life transitions and yearning to embrace their true selves. I'll be sharing my personal journey from navigating the complexities of divorce and blending families to reshaping my career to something that resonates with my soul. With 3 decades as a teacher and mentor, I'm here to share insights, heartfelt stories, and practical strategies. Together, we'll explore how to cultivate self-love and create the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Join me each week as we dive deep into the art of living authentically. Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Wright, and I am so glad you're here. Today, we're going to be doing mid-month messages for November. Can't believe we're already 2 weeks into this month. And I know we started off with this month just so many manifestations, good things moving in. And mid-month for me, as I kind of take just stock of what's been going on, I have had amazing synchronicities happen and just wonderful pieces that occurred. So we're down here in Mexico enjoying our best life, just really enjoying the ocean, enjoying the sun, enjoying the heat, exploring lots of hikes. And we have loved so many moments of it and have found it healing. We lost a beautiful member of our family just before we came and celebrated their life. So this time has been one of deep healing and recognizing as we allowed her beautiful bee to transition her angel form, that it's hard. Grief is challenging and difficult. So the sun has really done that for us. It's been a time of rest. It's been a time of contemplation and going within. And that has served us well. It has really served us well. And I think it gives you an opportunity to relook at what is important for you and what feeds your soul, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, those same questions. But as soon as you have this break, then you can lean more into it. And interestingly enough, and this is where I find the paradox of life, is because we work so hard. We work so hard so we can retire. And then the paradox is I'm in retirement, working on building a business, but even in this retirement, and I feel so bad I'm retired, right? I feel I can have deep guilt about being on a beach and people are not. And my learning has been to allow myself to embrace it. And when people say, you are so lucky, and I say, yes, I am. And just embracing that and bringing that manifestation alive in my life. Yes, I've met a beautiful husband. You're so lucky you have this man in your life. Yes, I am. And isn't that the interesting thing about manifesting? Because I find, especially in the culture we have in the Western world, there's a lot of set a goal, achieve the goal, go on to the next goal. Set a goal, achieve the goal, go on to the next goal. Yes, you might have a little, oh, good, you did that, yay, yay, and then just kind of move on right away instead of being in that. And I think that's been my journey, is that I am manifesting being. What is my new being? So my new being is learning how to love myself more. My new being is being present in the now even more. And I can do that in the busyness of home, and I can do it here. And learning not to compare my journey with anyone else's, but to compare it to my own self and my own, where am I today compared to where I'm wanting to get towards, and what do I need to heal? What do I need to release? What do I need to celebrate? And just kind of looking at that. When you slow down and you get that time to reflect and contemplate your different seasons in your life. And that's what I've been able to do. And so I am in deep joy. So when people are saying, you're so lucky, I'm like, I am. I live a blessed and lucky life. You're right, I do. And I'm so happy about that. And I'm healthy. And I'm able to do these huge hikes up and down, from beaches. And then you climb up the cliff again. And then you come back down. And some of them are on paths. Some of them are on just waterways that the water's carved through the rock or the dirt. And I'm scared of heights. And I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I physically am doing it. I'm mentally doing it. And I'm taking risks. And I'm proud of myself. And that's good. And another thing that has come in is I have found actually the last 6 months, I've probably been really getting into a hermit zone. So it's like I've just been connecting with myself and not so much connecting out. And I just didn't seem to have the energy to connect out. Or if I went out, I think my lack of self-confidence, my lack of self-worth, they were really doing a number on me. And I know astrologically there were some things going on, but it was tough the last 6 months. And all of a sudden now there's a different shift. Where we are at these beautiful condos just outside of Puerto Vallarta, I had a school friend, and I'm talking from junior high and high school. She's in a community that's right behind me. I look up into her hills. It's absolutely gorgeous where she's at. And over the last kind of 7 years, we've stayed connected throughout, but over the last 7 years, when we've been coming down here, she's been where she's at. And we've never been here at the same time. And I had the absolute pleasure of reconnecting with her new husband and friends that they had with them. Absolutely enjoyed it. And then reconnected with her, just her and I spending a day together from like 1 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. And being so joy-filled, so happy, because this is someone that you do know and knows you since you've been 10. And you see the beautiful stories of women that, and I can tear up when I say this, women who have endured hardship and struggled through difficult times of their lives and have chosen to move forward and taking the courage of each step every day, just moving. And that beautiful moment of sharing your stories with each other, of who we have been, who we're becoming, our challenges, our celebrations. And it was just wonderful. It was such a blessing. And I just absolutely loved it. And just really reconnected with a thread, I think, even of myself. I think sometimes as we continue to evolve and expand, we disconnect from some of our histories. And for me, there was this golden thread that just wove way down into when I was 10. And just that lovely energy of youth, but also just the absolute way that I was meant to come into this world and hadn't yet been perhaps molded by some of the choices and aspects of life that happen to us, right? Right? Life happens to us. We come down here to have a human experience, and that's exactly. We're shifting and changing and growing and expanding because we're involved in life. And so that golden thread was just a real gift. So I don't know for yourself if you've had throughout this month some different connections with people in your life that can just bring you some real heart joy, heart contentment, deep love, deep satisfaction. And if not, maybe it's coming for you. I hope that it is. And I hope that you're able to create that space and time to just enjoy it and see it for the beautiful gift that it is. And so my husband and I have been doing this hike, the Boca Trail, and going right to the end. And so our goal is to do it every week. It's good walking, good hiking, and challenges us, especially in the heat, and gets us off the beach a bit and active, right? So this is good. And we met this beautiful lady we were just waiting to go into town, and we met her at our bus stop. And she's traveling alone, and we were able to say, "Oh, well, we're doing the Boca Trail, on this day. Do you want to come?" And another amazing experience to get to know this beautiful human and learn about her life, her family, what brings her around the world. And kindred spirit is what comes up. There is a kindred spirit when I looked in her eyes, and I can see her, and I can see the choices she makes in her life to travel, to love family, to live a life filled with curiosity and expansion and exploration, and still being grounded deeply in family and being open to that. Because even before that, I said to my husband, "Oh, I can't believe, really? Did I do that? Did I invite someone with us?" And when I listened to my energy is so different right now. My energy was like, "Yeah, you did, and you're going to have fun. Enjoy it for what it is." There's two things that have shifted. Enjoy it for what it's going to be, not for what I think it should be. The should in there. Don't should on me. The should. I have to get rid of that, take it out of my lexicon, but what it can be. Maybe we would have just been hiking and that's it. But there was a connection, and it was a beautiful connection that we were able to experience and enjoy, and also share this joy of hiking, because she would never have been able, no, I won't say that. She would not have done it on her own. It's a fairly tough hike, and she herself would not have considered herself a hiker. She was amazed at each beach, because the beaches, as you do this hike, you're all alone on them, or you have just a few people because you can only get to them by boat. So you go to each beach, each viewpoint. She was just astonished, amazed. And it was wonderful to see the trail through, I think, this rejuvenated joy. And she took the time because she travels different. So whether the first time my husband and I did it, I mean, we just powered through, like just go, 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 go. Not her. She's taking pictures. She's taking off her shoes. She's having some water and having a snack. And we found some beautiful hammocks and just sat there swinging on these hammocks and enjoying ourselves. And that's what opening up did for me. And another piece I realized is that in my challenge over the last 6 months of connecting and being in that hermit, it came from a lack of self-confidence. It came from a lack of self-esteem. And it's always curious how this happens. Like, how do we're okay, and then all of a sudden we dive in, and it's almost like, and I see it as that. Like, it's an invitation for me through this lack of self-esteem to really heal, really release some of these deeper wounds or aspects of myself that I have a hard time loving. And so this month has really been about just be me, just be Michelle, wholly, completely Michelle. And I also need to love me. I need to look in the mirror and say, "Michelle, I love you." And I need to mean it. And I need to look at myself. So, being on the beach in my bathing suit, and I need to look at myself in all of my 56, eating a lot of carbs, because I love carbs, ness, and love every aspect of myself, every part that is changing, every part that is sagging. And I just need to embrace it. And that's So embrace that. That's the physical pieces. And now it's the parts of me that are just me. You know what we like to do? We like to do the boat trail and then we stop and we have a margarita. And this beautiful woman that we had with us, she's not a drinker. And so then there was a thought, oh no, well, maybe we shouldn't drink. She's not a drinker. And thank goodness my husband does not think this way because he's like, no, it's fine, Michelle. And isn't it fine? This is the people pleasing in me that I am healing. So once again, why is all of this happening? So I can release that. It isn't about people pleasing. We had a beautiful hike that lasted at least 7 hours by the time we were frolicking and doing different things. It was a whole 7-hour day. And she had no problem sitting down with us and enjoying this. And so I didn't need to worry about that. And that's that healing. So the crunchiness over the last 6 months is about me developing a deeper self-esteem and me coming and enjoying and loving myself and recognizing that this challenge is an invitation for me, falling in love with me, my heart, and decreasing my people pleasing. And do you see that? Say decreasing. I recognize that perfection is not where I'm going. I'm going to decrease it. And I'm going to get to it so it's a healthy level. And that I will enjoy connecting and I will enjoy being myself and just wholly and complete myself. And on this trip, I did do that. I did do that. So I'm wondering for you in your mid-month, in your manifestation, are you wholly and completely loving you, enjoying you, where you're at? And looking yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I forgive you for the parts that haven't been growing as much, and I release those. And I love you for all the ways that you are uniquely you. Because this has been a huge piece for me as I move forward, is recognizing that. And even today, I ended up waking up and I had, the bad dream just before you wake, that kind of nightmare, not the one in the middle of the night, but just that, I woke up with not a good feeling. And I recognized what it was about. And it's about a relationship that I'm struggling with and the way it makes me feel and that person's challenges and the way they've expressed them have just broken my heart. And they did feed into my lack of self-esteem and fed into my lack of self-worth and my need to people please. And so you can see the thread that's going through. So be curious about your thread. So then what I did this morning was I pulled 4 cards and I said, what is it I'm invited to learn? What is it I'm invited to heal? What is it I'm invited to release? And what is it I'm invited to embrace? And I wrote down the dream, I wrote down the problem, and I wrote down the solution that I was searching for. That in the highest version of myself and my highest potential, and when I look at manifesting what I want this to be like, I put that in there. And then I looked at the journey and I realized, what the journey I'm on is about self-love. And it's interesting because if I were to look at, so take that person's name, and then I look over the last 10 years, I could just substitute the name of someone else where I've had a relationship challenge or conflict or issue, which all of it has been to help me grow, to help me learn to love myself and embrace who I am. So my message was come in, know who you are, love you authentically and wholly, and come with that sense of deep love to this, to every relationship, to every situation. And with a Virgo moon and even my South Node in Virgo, so Virgo has a deep sense of service, but also can be very critical and analytical for self and others. So I have to release that. That's what I'm here to release, is my self-criticalness. And I need to just embrace and love it. Love spontaneity, love this, love that, love, and be curious. That's what I'm learning. This is my learning for today. And in your mid-month message, what are you learning this month? And maybe you want to pull cards in that same way. What is something you're challenged with? And what are you hoping will happen? And then pull those 4 cards. What are you here to learn? What are you here to heal? What are you here to release? And what are you here to embrace? And then reflect on it. And I journal. Journaling for me is processing. Journaling, I just write the cards. I just write and write and write. And so you might want to do the same. And I can vlog, so that means it's journaling by video. I just tape myself and do it there, or I can do a voice note. It's the same thing. It helps me process and brings my feelings and thoughts out loud, which is very powerful for me. So I hope, let me know what that looks like for you. Jump on, send me an Instagram, go into my Instagram, start following me, connecting. I am doing coffee with cards every Monday and Friday morning, and you're going to see before I do them, I'll say, do you want a reading? And then I can do a reading for you. I also have YouTube lives, Bleed with Your Soul podcast on YouTube. So I'm there every Wednesday. So if you want a reading there, pop on there. And also, I have deeper sacred soul sessions. And that's where we take 90 minutes and we use the cards. We have the cards and this deep sacred conversation that happens through my spirit team, your spirit team, the cards, and we look at guiding you forward in what's best for you. So jump on those, connect with me, interact with me. I love doing this work. It's filling my heart, filling my soul. Today, the 2 cards that I pulled is Every Step. This is Sacred Rebels deck by Alana Fairchild. And this is every journey starts with a single step. And isn't that so true? So even doing the hike starts with a single step. So there's the literal aspect of it. If you want to travel, whatever you're manifesting this month, because that's what we were talking about. And if you're not quite there, what is your next step to get there? What is your next card that you're going to pull? What is your next journal that you're going to write? How are you going to release? Because after my nightmare this morning, that's what happened, is actually I shifted into a deeper understanding and I released that feeling. I released those feelings of anxiety, anger, frustration. And I'm just like, look, this is what it's helping me do, become more me. And what is your step? What is your manifestation for yourself right now? Maybe it's finding someone in your life. And so as you find someone in your life, is your first step loving you wholly and completely so that you are calling into your life, someone who is also whole and complete. So you want to have that same energy to meet them with? Or is your single step more around health? Maybe you're on this health journey like we are and looking at creating points in your day where you're choosing healthy eating, healthy movement, whatever that may look like. It just starts with that single step, a thought, a dream, an intention, and then actually doing it in your 3D body. And that's what I had to make sure that I did. And the next card is the Spirit Oracle. And I just love, it's a beautiful little sassy deck. And it says, this one is, that which is true will always be enough. It's about truth, honor, empress, integrity. And it's searching for that truth. When I talk about the story about me, and I say the truth, I have to understand the truth about me. And I have to love that essence about me. And not just the critical, judgmental pieces of me that do need to grow and expand. I need to really look at myself within the truth of all the things that I am, all the ways I am loving, I am good, I am whole, I am complete. Because that is true. That is true about me. It's true about my work. It's true about the service that I have when I work with people. And I see that which is true will be enough. When I work with women in transitions and they're coming to me, and the truth ends up being around self-love. The truth ends up being that they need often to learn how to look in the mirror and recognize that the truth is that just taking a breath makes them worth loving. Just taking a breath makes them worth receiving abundance easily in this world. And I want to say that again because I can just feel that. You, as my listener, you just existing, you just taking a breath means that the divine, the universe, wants you to easily receive all the abundance of this universe. Abundance of relationships, abundance of love, abundance of health, abundance. And where are you receiving that abundance? And to really sit with gratitude and understand that where the abundance is, and really look and see and celebrate it and just sit with that. And in that energy of this abundance, is there another single step that you might take towards more abundance in another area? But you're not doing it from the step of lack, of scarcity, of worry, of anxiety. You're doing it from that sense of deep gratitude, from this abundance that you're immersed in. And even as you do that, if you sit there and you think about from limited scarcity anxiety, you can just feel the energy shift inside of you. And now you go to that place where you feel abundance. I can feel it myself. One is dense, contracted, dark, thick, heavy. And the other one is light, airy, and hopeful, and actually with no control. I think that's the other thing that blows me away, is I am always being asked to have zero control and to lean into trust and surrender and just to move forward. Trust yourself. Trust that what I'm choosing to move towards is going to be for me. Even when it doesn't work out, what is for me in it? Because there's something for me in it if it didn't work out. I can learn something about myself, about the universe, about the world. I can learn. And that's what I'm beginning to embrace. And it is also, though, recognizing I have had 6 months of deep heartache, of being in a hermit and lacking self-love, lacking self-esteem, and fighting through these feelings. So I say this now, it's easy to speak them. How do you live them? We live them together. I'm sharing my story with you. Listen to other stories of women choosing self-love, choosing to easily receive this abundance in the world and connect with deep gratefulness into this energy. Listen to them. Share your story when you're doing it well with those around you. Share it with me. And together we can lift each other up. Until next time, my dear, wonderful, lovely listeners, keep leading with your soul. That wraps up another episode of the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. As you navigate your own life transitions, remember to be gentle with yourself and embrace the journey. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Join me next week for more insights and inspiration. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.